Hello, this is Berchtesgaden Airwaves. I'm going to be launching a new channel to talk about some German history, geopolitics, and the like. Today I want to talk about Erich Mielke, who was head of the East German Stasi. He was head of the Stasi from 1957 until East Germany's collapse in December of 1989. He was born in 1907 in Berlin. He was born to a lower class family. Typically, the family he lived in was of the communist persuasion. He served as the head of the MFS, Ministerium für Staatssicherheit, from 1957 to 1989. His initial boss was named Wilhelm Pieck, and he then took power, obviously, in 1957. In 1925, he joined the Communist Party Deutschland, and he wrote for a paper called the Rote Fahne. He was also a co-conspirator in murdering two police captains. One was named Paul Anlauf, and the other was Franz Lenk. After that, there was a eyewitness that seen him being murdered, and he fled to the Soviet Union. He was also sent to Spain in 1937 to serve in the Spanish Civil War as a secret police officer. He was trained in the Soviet Union. He participated in Germany as well prior to his exile or his departure to the USSR in acts of terrorism, illegal meetings, arms trafficking. And he also served as a construction worker in Belgium during the Second World War as a cover. He survived the war unscathed. After that, in 1949, he returned to East Germany that the Soviets had occupied. And basically, he then became part of the Stasi, which I've repeated several times. There were uprisings in East Germany in 1953. Factory workers were expected to increase quotas and not get paid any more money, and they protested. There were some 400,000 protesters throughout Eastern Germany, and the Stasi, along with the Volkspolizei, was actually given the task by their Soviet overlords to quell this uprisings. It ultimately didn't work, and the Soviets had to step in. Tanks were brought out. Some 100 people were executed and killed. Some 10,000 were arrested. And Erich Mielke was very much in charge of that. He also was a huge proponent of collectivization of East German farmlands, which also led to a massive amount of people leaving to go to the West. In 1961, obviously the Berlin Wall was erected, and it was an anti-fascist wall to stop people from leaving the East, because there was a huge brain drain going on at the time due to these politicians and bureaucrats' actions. In 1957, when Erich Mielke became a head of the MFS, he basically made a lot of his officers take a pledge to defend socialism anywhere, anytime, any place, and assist the state organs to squash any kind of opposition to socialism. The Stasi employed about 85 to 90,000 people, and it had roughly around 170,000 informants. So that's about one in every 5 to 10 people were a Stasi agent of some sort. Along with Markus Wolf, he became head of the. There was another large agency a sub-agency within the Stasi called the HVA, which was their espionage service, Marcus Wolf was in charge of this. He is notably known as the man without the face. He was also very instrumental on fighting socialism on any front, including revolutions in Cuba, Iraq, Nicaragua. There was unlimited amounts of money and funding. There were also excessive moles in West Germany. There was many HVA agents that were infecting West Germany. They were actually quite effective as the Romeo spies. All of this was under the guises of Erich Mielke, who, by today's standards in retrospect, was a total gangster. And there won't be any men like him in the next 100 years. In December of 1989, he was arrested. This is shortly after the wall came down. He was convicted in the Nuremberg speak, crimes against humanity. He was then released due to poor health, and in 1993 he was then arrested again. He served until 1995, and he was released on parole, also due to ailing health. In speeches in 1989 in Germany, in courts in Germany, he was, quoted with saying, "Ich liebe doch alle." I love everybody, I love all humans, and it was actually laughed at court for a man like this who was as ruthless as he was, and as much of a gangster as he was. People thought it was quite funny. In May of 2000, he died near Hohenschönhausen, which was the Stasi headquarters in Berlin. He died in a nursing home near the Stasi headquarters, along with his wife. And the many biographies on him are written in German. There's not very much written about him in English. A good work and a good reference would be John Kohler's The Stasi, The Untold History of the Stasi. That would be a good work to start with if you want for any further reading. And that's all. This is Berchtesgaden Airwaves, flowing away. We'll be here with the next episode, probably in another week. Thank you.